Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, who plans to colonize Mars and is afraid to become a pet with artificial intelligence. But that's not all. In fact, companies in which Musk plays a role cover almost all industries and global problems of mankind, trying to revolutionize each of them. Let's take a look at Elon Musk's top 5 projects designed to change lives around the world. On to a project in the field of telecommunications. The idea of satellite internet is not new. I tried to implement it in the early 1990s. But when it did not work out because of the high cost of delivering satellites into space. But for Elon Musk, who has been working at it for over 18 years to make space flights as cheap as possible, this problem has become solved. The ambitious project involves launching about 12,000 satellites at different altitudes in Earth orbit, which will provide internet access at speeds of up to 1 gigabit per second and a delay of about 15 to 30 milliseconds. Currently, there are 420 satellites in orbit, and 120 more are due to be launched in June. Today, Starlink is the largest satellite internet service provider in the world. The next project is the transportation system of the future. The ideas of vacuum trains were first adjusted by George Mentors in 1812. But the first to convince people that it was a real possibility was Elon Musk in 2012. After calculating the feasibility of the ideas together with the engineers of SpaceX and Tesla, Musk said that an Hyperloop passenger can travel 50 kilometers in 2.5 minutes and only at a price of $20. The maximum speed in theory can reach amounts almost 1,000 kilometers per hour. This can change everything from logistics to the ability of anybody to work anywhere thousands of kilometers away from home. To date, the project has not been implemented. But there are test sites in Hawthorne and Las Vegas, and a test site is being built in Toulouse. Contracts have been signed for the construction of 10-kilometer highways in Dubai and Tunis, and engineers have already managed to accelerate the Hyperloop test capsule to 450 kilometers per hour. But the project requires not only the capsule, but also cheap underground tunnels, and to build them, Musk founded The Boring Company. The infrastructure project The Boring Company, which should solve 2 key problems, speed and cost of tunnels. Today, the cost of building a tunnel is about $1 billion per mile, but Musk plans to reduce this figure to about $100 million per mile. To do this, he minimizes the diameter of the tunnel, reducing its area by 4 times compared with a standard car tunnel. Such a reduction also has something that, among other things, the car will slide on special rails and not ride freely. The speed of movement in the tunnel with electric cars will be 200 kilometers per hour. The first commercial route will be 2 tunnels in Las Vegas, completed this spring. In the future, Tesla owners will be able to descend into the tunnels directly from the garage. Aerospace project SpaceX, the company's global goal is to make space travel accessible and not only build a base on the moon, but also colonize Mars. Elon Musk is sure that if mankind does not learn to survive on other planets, it will die out in the first global disaster or from overpopulation. But if we create sufficiently advanced space technology, we can not only survive, but also get settled on other planets. So the entrepreneur plans to move 1 million people to Mars. And SpaceX is gradually moving towards this goal, first creating the cheapest possible space technology. From the very beginning, the company was aimed at reuse the maximum number of missile technology and the development of its own engines, which among other things can use the fuel created on other planets such as methalox, a combination of methane and oxygen. To produce methane, the company will collect CO2 from the atmosphere of Mars and extract water from a surface. This will make it possible to refuel missiles on their way back directly to the Red Planet. To get to Mars, Musk plans to use Starship, a manned ship with a carrying capacity of 100 tons. To launch the ship from Earth will use heavy rocket carriers, Super Heavy, but from the surface of the Moon and Mars, Starship will fly itself. Musk sees the process and other use of Starship, mainly the implementation of flights from one end of the Earth to the other. The entrepreneur is sure that he will be able to reduce the cost of such a flight to the price to an ordinary air ticket. But the first Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa will fly to the moon around 2024. If you look closely, each of these companies is not based on a revolutionary idea, but an old concept that was once defeated. In all countries, Elon Musk has managed to find successful ideas and develop tactics and technology to change the future of humanity. Like the video and let us know down below in the comments. What project do you consider the most promising of the future?